Hey, welcome to Employee Weekly. You know how we've been talking about finding a job or side hustle that's flexible but still makes really good money? Well, I came across something that honestly surprised me. Insurance claims adjusting. Yeah, I know it might not sound glamorous, but hear me out because some adjusters are pulling in like $30,000 a month, especially after big storms. Crazy, right? Okay, be sure to follow every step, don't miss a thing. There are basically two main types of insurance adjusters: desk adjusters and field adjusters. Desk adjusters handle claims remotely. They usually work from an office or from home and manage everything through photos, documents, phone calls, and emails. No ladders or roofs involved. It's ideal if you prefer staying put, working at a computer, and having a consistent schedule. Independent claims adjusters average about $3,000 a week. Yes, in 1 week. On the other hand, field adjusters are the ones who actually go out to damaged properties. Like if someone's roof gets ripped apart by a storm, these folks physically show up, climb ladders, inspect the damage, and take lots of photos. It's hands-on, active work, and you're typically traveling around quite a bit. Imagine a big storm hits, and someone's house is damaged. An adjuster comes out, looks at the damage, writes a report, and figures out what the insurance should pay. Simple enough, right? But here's why it grabbed my attention. Some adjusters can make as much as $30,000 in just 1 month, especially after big events like hurricanes. Both pay well, but field adjusters often have higher earning potential because they're right there on the ground, handling claims directly after major events. Desk adjusting offers more stability and comfort, but usually a steadier, though sometimes lower paycheck. Let's break this down so you know exactly how it works. First things first, there are two main paths: staff adjusters and independent adjusters. Staff adjusters have stable, salaried jobs with insurance companies, but the pay is usually fixed. Independent adjusters, though, that's where things get interesting. They're freelancers who work with different insurance companies, especially during big disasters. This means their income potential is huge, especially during catastrophe or CAT events, like hurricanes or wildfires. When a hurricane hits somewhere like Florida or Texas, thousands of claims pile up overnight. Insurance companies desperately need adjusters, and they'll pay top dollar to anyone who can quickly and accurately handle these claims. It's during these times that independent adjusters can make crazy money: $10,000, $20,000, even $30,000 or more in a month. No joke. But let's be realistic. Adjusting is rewarding, but challenging. You might climb roofs, inspect damaged buildings, and work long hours, especially right after big disasters. Still, it's totally doable. And the best part? You don't need a fancy degree to get started. And just a heads up about desk adjusters, yeah, they usually work from home or in a comfy office chair, but don't let that fool you. They can also put in pretty long hours, especially after big events. So even though they're not climbing roofs, they're definitely working hard behind the scenes, managing lots of claims at once. So how do you actually become an insurance claims adjuster? Well, it boils down to a few simple steps. Step 1. Getting your adjuster license. All right, let's get specific about this first step because it's really your ticket into the adjusting world. Think of your adjuster license as something like a driver's license. But instead of letting you legally drive a car, this lets you legally handle insurance claims. Almost every state in the US requires adjusters to have this license. So how exactly do you get licensed? Well, in most states, the process is pretty straightforward. You'll typically need to pass a licensing exam. These exams usually cover the basics of insurance, some state-specific laws, how claims are handled, and general procedures, things you'll use daily in adjusting. But don't get too intimidated by the test. It's multiple choice, and honestly, not that tough, especially if you prepare well. Speaking of preparation, there are tons of online pre-licensing courses available that make studying simple. These courses walk you through exactly what you need to know, give you practice questions, and make sure you're completely ready. Most people, even total beginners, can get through this preparation in just a week or two if they're focused. So seriously, don't stress. Thousands of people have done it before, and you absolutely can too. Quick tip. Sure, you could just stroll in and take the exam on your own. That's definitely the cheaper way, maybe around $50 or $60. But heads up, going solo can make the test feel pretty tough. What most people do instead is take an official licensing class. Yeah, it costs a bit more, usually around $300 or $400. But trust me, It's worth it. The class breaks everything down for you, making it way easier to understand. And here's the best part. Once you finish the class, many states actually waive your state exam completely. Yep, no state test at all. You just pass the class, pay for your license, and you're good to go. Super easy, right? Quick heads up. Once you pass your test, you'll also need to get fingerprinted. You can actually do this either before or after your exam, whatever's easier for you. A popular company that handles this is identigo.com. Why fingerprinting? Basically, it's part of a routine background check that insurance regulators use to make sure you're trustworthy to handle sensitive stuff like money and personal information. They're usually just checking for things like bank fraud, wire fraud, or similar financial crimes. It's nothing to worry about, just another step to show you're ready for the job. Now, there's an important detail. Some states actually don't license insurance adjusters at all. If you live in one of these states, like Colorado, Kansas, or Nebraska, for example, don't worry, you're not stuck. You'll simply get licensed through another state, typically Texas or Florida. These two states are super popular because their licenses are widely accepted nationwide through something called reciprocity. Here's what that means in practice. Say you live in Colorado, which doesn't offer adjuster licenses. Instead, you take the licensing course or exam through Florida or Texas. Let's say Florida, because it's straightforward and you can even complete a state-approved course entirely online, often without taking an exam. Once you have that Florida license, you're good to go. You can now handle claims not only in Florida, but in many other states as well, since most states recognize and accept that Florida license. Why does reciprocity matter? Because adjusting work often involves traveling or working claims in different states, especially after big events like hurricanes. So, getting licensed in a state with broad reciprocity, again, typically Florida or Texas, is smart. It allows you to quickly expand your opportunities without having to retake exams for every new state. Step 2. Learn the basics. You'll need to get familiar with estimating software, especially Xactimate. Almost every property insurance claim is handled through Xactimate. There are lots of beginner courses online. You learn to measure damage, sketch layouts, and calculate repair costs. Knowing this software is a huge advantage, and it'll make your first jobs go much smoother. Some companies hire and train you. Step 3. Join adjusting firms. Here's where you actually start getting hired. Once you have your license, you'll need to get on the radar of independent adjusting firms. It's almost impossible to find a position without this step. Think of these firms like staffing agencies, but specifically for insurance claims. When a hurricane or another big disaster strikes, insurance companies suddenly have hundreds or even thousands of claims to handle, and they rely heavily on these independent firms to quickly send out adjusters. Your best bet to find these firms is trackadjuster.com. It's like your go-to directory for insurance adjuster jobs. It has listings for over 450 independent firms that actively hire new adjusters. The fee is around $20 a month to access the website. Totally worth it. Don't be like most people with licenses who stick to the same 10 companies. With over 450 out there, you're more likely to succeed. Now, when a catastrophe happens, these firms immediately start reaching out to adjusters on their list. The trick here is simple. The more firms you join, the higher your chances of getting called for assignments. Don't just join one or two. Try joining as many as possible. It's totally free, takes just a few minutes each, and greatly improves your odds of landing that first gig. Before you know it, your phone will be buzzing with opportunities. Step 4. Your first deployment, the exciting part. Eventually, you'll get a call.
Hey, can you come to Louisiana to handle claims from Hurricane X?
When that happens, things move fast. You travel to the area, usually working long hours at first, inspecting properties, meeting homeowners, writing reports, and submitting estimates. Here's why deployments are exciting. You get paid per claim you complete, so the more claims you close, the more money you make. That's why some adjusters can earn so much money so quickly. It's hard work, no doubt, but it pays off big time. Other companies pay per hour, but it's quite a kick too. Now let's quickly talk about expectations. Yes, $30,000 months happen, but realistically, even $10,000, $20,000 months during catastrophe deployments are fantastic. Just remember that income can vary depending on storms, but even in quieter times, adjusters earn solid pay handling day-to-day claims. Another great part? Adjusting is practically recession-proof. Storms and accidents happen regardless of the economy. Plus, insurance adjusting offers tons of flexibility. Some adjusters hustle hard during storm season and take the rest of the year off. Others work steadily year-round. Finally, it's rewarding in more ways than money. You're literally helping people during their toughest times, when their homes are damaged and they need someone who cares and can help them get back on their feet. You're the person who shows up, calms their nerves, and helps solve their problems. That alone makes it meaningful. And remember, the best way to get started is by joining as many insurance firm rosters as you can. You won't get hired without being on their list. It's your ticket to getting your foot in the door. If you have any question, I've posted an entire guide on the birdbox.ai website. Scroll down to Claims Adjuster Guide. Sign up for free. And the links mentioned in this video are posted in the description. Best of luck!